All right, I want to welcome everyone here. We have the beautiful Charlene Andersen. Hopefully, I pronounced it properly. Um,
It
and we
was
are,
it's just spelled weird.
yeah. Oh my goodness. See, okay. Just for clarification, everybody, I spelled it wrong the first time without catching it, even though I saved it properly. Just gonna throw that out there. Now I've pronounced it improperly. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
So, um, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm still getting over Jenny's coffee cup
Oh,
size. I
wait,
mean,
I missed it.
come on, Jay, show us more. Show
It's
us.
also in French, just to make it extra awkward.
Wow.
Celui-ci de la vie.
So big I can almost taste it from here.
I wanted to share with you this morning.
Yes.
Obviously.
We need to have coffee cups. That's right. I've got this mamma jamma, right?
Yes,
I
see?
have no water. I have nothing. So,
You know what? We're going to get through this morning together.
if I dip out for a while, you'll know what I'm doing.
Okay, Selena and I will entertain each other. It's okay.
I'll be like, hold on, she had to go get a cup.
It better be obscure. I'm just putting it out there. If you show up with a normal cup, you got to go. You got to go.
That's right. It's just strange if you do that.
Yeah.
Nothing like starting this whole thing off unbelievably unconventionally, but I love it.
Of course.
Standard.
There's nothing conventional about, well, the three of us.
Yeah. That is on brand.
So let's get into some of the weeds. Here, I know a lot of the people that will be watching are familiar with hearing some of your story come out recently. So you have been on the carnivore journey for over 28 years or so.
Yeah.
And that is all well and good. And I am here to rah-rah and support that because we are also carnivores. So that works for us. But I want to know what gave you the fortitude to decide, you know what? Excuse my languaging, I'll be better here. Screw what everything is being said to me about what is supposed to be good for me. I'm going to do my own beat.
Oh, I had to. I mean, I either had to lay down and die or do this thing, figure it out. We didn't know for sure, but without trying to, I've always done my own thing. I'd always wear something a little different or listen to something a little different. I don't know. I'm an artist, a musician at heart. So I don't know. I never worried about doing something different.
Yeah.
I don't do something different just because it's different. It's just that's what it typically ends up being.
Yeah.
So when it came to food and when it came to medical things, I was always I was always against it. My grandpa was a doctor. I got a chance to go on rounds with him when I was in Cleveland to visit him to the hospitals. So he'd visit his patients and I would go into the waiting room with my dad. It was our time out together. It was my grandpa, my dad, and I. And that was our the thing that we would do. But oh my gosh, I just always hated the smell of it. I hated what I would see. I hated all his medical books. I'm sorry. I'm not against medicine. I'm not against science. Okay. But you know what I'm saying? It's it just really made me feel bad inside. It just didn't feel right. And so when it came to getting well, I loved the thought of something natural, something that I had control over and that I didn't have to rely on anybody else. I always like that. It's what? I can do this myself? Oh, fantastic. Let me at it. Let me start now. This was a challenge. I mean, this became a challenge that I had no idea was going to be this big, that it literally was I would have no life or I would make it work. So I made it work. That's what it comes down to.
I think that's a fantastic way of putting it.
I mean,
Go ahead, Jen.
It's easy to give up.
Yeah.
So.
I think there's something to be said for that aspect, like you said, like it's easy to give up. And there is something I read, I think yesterday actually, where it was like, it's gonna kill me. Who posted it? I don't know. Somebody posted it, and it said everyone was shocked and surprised about when they asked Elon Musk what he thought made someone successful, like what got them there, how did they do it? And everybody expected answers like intelligence and these sort of things, and he was like, no, your pain endurance. And it was like, if you're able to endure the hardships, the falls, the knockdowns, the having to start overs, if you're able to endure that, you'll be successful, you'll make it. And I think the same things to like be said for that in our own health journeys, because I don't think people realize like it takes that. You have to be willing to do it no matter what.
Oh, yes. And that's like an understatement.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
I mean, can I make a point?
Yeah.
It is damn hard.
Mm.
It is damn hard to put yourself through hell, to try to figure stuff out from the ground up. I hated it. I've said this before. I wanted to give up so many times. And a lot of people feel that way. Some of the most responses I've had on my videos is a video about I was angry and I threw away stuff and I wanted to give up. And my other videos about using failures as trophies. You've got to rack those damn things up. You got to put them on your shelf, and you've got to never, ever forget that you earned those things.
Yeah.
There is so much stuff that each of us have to fight through in order to get anywhere. And I don't care if it's health or finances or your situation with your family, your spouse, your kids, whatever. I hate the thought that we're here to fight, but we do. Right now we do. Things are not easy. If you get something to go well, good for you.
Yeah.
But man, usually it's not easy. But that goal, that in the end, your win will mean so much more because you fought the good fight. You know how to get through a fight. You know how to do it. You can always do it again, Yeah. But man, is it tough.
It is for sure.
So sorry.
No, don't be
You're
sorry.
speaking our language. Don't worry, both of us fully understand. It's not to pull an overtly God reference because it's not the point of what I'm about to say, but somebody I heard in Rage once say, if you tell God you want to be a warrior, you can't be upset when you get sent to the front line.
Oh,
and it was a mindset thing for me more than it was like a particularly religious thing for me. But I thought, yeah, if I keep saying in the good days, like I've got this, I'm good, I'm strong, I'm capable, and then something hard happens and I wither and I fall, well, then I'm not standing on my own laurels. I'm not standing to the person I said I was going to be on the good day. But you meet yourself in the hardest times. You meet yourself in the face of adversity. That's when you know, who are you? Who? Because sometimes nobody stands in that face of adversity with you. And more often than not, sadly. But I mean, my own piece of story, many years ago, I gave up drinking when I worked in the restaurant industry, and I lost 90% of my friends. And you think, oh my gosh, I lost all my friends. They were your friends. Those were your party friends. They didn't care about your well-being. But it doesn't make it less hard to feel like people who thought like you turned their back on you. I think.
Yeah.
And we had to give up family members. I mean, we had to say goodbye to people in our process because they didn't have the best interest for us, and we could feel it. We knew it. They didn't have to say anything to our face. We knew it, and so we had to survive. And we had no idea what battle was ahead of us. Truly, But man, we always look back and think, yeah, you know what? That was so good that we did that. I can't even imagine what it would have been like if we would have just ho-hummed our way through it and accepted things. And some of the hardest things are believing in yourself. It's easy to say, but it's hard to do. And you have to believe in yourself if you go through battles like this. And then if you have to do things that are a little bit against the norm, or you have to ruffle some feathers or upset people, that's hard. But it's better to be true to yourself. It's better to be true to them, even if it's harmful, seemingly harmful to them. It's better than dealing with it, talking behind their back, keeping them in your life, and then complaining about it. Don't bitch about it. Get rid of them. They're a problem. Be real. I hate when people aren't real. That's, I think, one of the worst things we can be.
Yeah, we're all going to high five that one.
Come on, people, be real.
Right.
We found a real space here today. I think if anybody's listening and watched the first 3 seconds of this video, you found 3 people pretty willing to come to the table with their authentic.
We'll see if they last.
It's probably.
Let me just bring back my obscure coffee cup. One moment.
Don't look.
Shame me. Not only am I drinking coffee, I'm making it awkward for everybody who hates carnivores who drink coffee. So here we are.
It is what it is. Right. Right. Still, no matter what, here's the reality. Like we just said, we're not faking the funk. You're putting out there the reality of where you are choosing to be in your stories. And that's something that, how did we get so lost as a society? I know how to a degree, but that we could not stand against what our friends, our family, people of influential perspectives are putting upon us when we know deep in our hearts, our soul, our body, whatever is showing up, this doesn't feel right, something's wrong, I'm getting sicker, I'm not, moving ahead, whatever, like you said, because it's not just carnivore, like it's not just food, it's a mental fortitude for life in general. And it's like we got so afraid to stand up for ourselves. When did, and I'm going to throw this out there because I know you're not American, Jenny, and I'm sorry, but this is the only reference I got. When did Americans become so damn afraid? And it's not just Americans, it's worldwide. It is absolutely across the globe. When did we become so afraid to stand up for ourselves, our family? And I'm not talking politically. I just mean for what we know is right for our nucleus.
I think if we don't have a good base nutrition, how can we think correctly? How can we be strong? How can we make the right decisions? How can we pull good things to ourselves? If I hate to say gut bacteria, but it's true, our gut biome, that brings things to us, good or bad. If it's screwed up by eating bad food, it's, first of all, we're not going to feel good. We're not going to be healthy, and we're not going to think correctly. We're going to bring bad things to us.
Yeah.
I think bacteria is the top of the food chain. We are not. They want
100%.
rotting so that it can feed on us for a long time and then move on to somebody else. Seriously, how many times do you have like this goal of eating right, and then just something comes up? Oh, you can't do it. What do you think's driving the show?
Yeah,
We're not
absolutely.
Mostly bacteria. Sorry, we are. And then what bacteria have in you, based on your nutrition. So, sorry.
My secret undercover job is I'm a soil microscopist. So I study and analyze, the microbiome of the soil for agricultural farms and stuff across the world. And I'm going to tell you, hands down, in the as we specify in the animal kingdom, we might be apex. In the world kingdom, we're bottom of the food chain ultimately. So you hit the nail on the head there.
A parasite doesn't immediately tell its host, right? It needs its host alive to continue to consume.
Exactly.
If you look at it in whatever sense of that you want, parasites, microbiome, whatever, it needs you to be slowly dying, not fast death. It can't consume you. So that kills it as well. Lovely.
So I'm going to get
Journey from
into
coffee cups there.
yeah, right. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're awake and thriving.
Wake up! It's Monday.
That's right. That's right. So I want to get into a little bit of you. You do a lot of vintage aspects to your lifestyle. So obviously with your clothing and everything like that. When did that start for you?
Oh, when I was a child, I would go to my grandparents in Cleveland, Ohio, and they would take us to this place called the 100th Bomb Group, which is a restaurant that features the group, the 100th Bomb Group. And so it was World War II memorabilia. All the music that they played was of that era. All the letters that were representative of back and forth between the loved ones and the people that were stationed in that group, and uniforms and plane parts, and the whole place was filled with this feeling of World War II. And World War II is horrifying.
Right.
But the style, the feel of that whole thing, I fell in love with it 100% and never ever forgot that. And I continued to go back to we called it the Bomber. It was right next to the Cleveland airport. So that started my love of vintage, especially 1940s. I was always drawn to like the movies. And again, the movies don't, I mean, it's just a bad thing that had to happen. Anyway, but then in college, I saw the movie Backbeat. And it's not a well-known movie. Stephen Dorff plays the fifth Beatle, and Stu Sutcliffe, and he was an artist, and he was the bass player. And it was the earliest Beatles, not the stuff that we're used to hearing. It's like the beginning. They covered a lot of rockabilly type songs. I didn't know what it was called, and so I went along with my friend who is a promoter for movies, and so we handed out a whole bunch of stuff, and then we snuck in and watched the movie, and I was all about that movie. I didn't know what it was, but I just knew that I loved it. So, and then after I graduated from college, and I was invited to a wedding and reception with my parents. It was one of their friends that was getting married, and Joe's band was playing for the reception, and they're a rockabilly band. Joe's the upright bass player, and my friend's parents, they had their daughter married to one of Joe's brothers, so they knew about Joe, and they knew he was an artist and a musician, and that he was still single. He was 15 years older than me. I don't know if they knew how much difference of age we were, and they introduced us, and immediately I thought, this is the guy. I'm going to marry that guy. But he didn't want to get his hopes up because I was young. I was just out of college. I was 23, so he was 37, I was 22. He was 37, and but he asked me to dance at their breaks, and I thought, oh wow, and it was just an instant connection, and we really saw each other, dated from that time on. I think I had to go to Cleveland maybe one time, but we talked every day, and then when I came back, we just saw each other every day, and we started dating. We dated for a couple of years before we got married, but he was getting to know me when I was becoming more unwell, and I hate that. But at least he was a support for me. I mean, we figured we knew we had to figure this thing out together. But anyways, yes, the rockabilly lifestyle. I didn't know what it was. He said, "Oh, this is called rockabilly." Because I told him, I said, "I don't know if you've heard the movie Backbeat." He's like, "Well, yeah." I said, "It's like you guys are coming out of that movie Backbeat." He says, "Yeah, it's rockabilly, you know." And so we would go to we went to a lot of antique malls together. He introduced me to the whole rockabilly world. We went to rockabilly festivals, tattoo
nice.
festivals. It's like, oh shoot, I love this stuff. This is exactly it. And I started buying. We at that point you could go to not really a consignment shop. It's just like almost like an antique store, but that featured clothing. And
Right.
they had these 1940s and 50s authentic suits. And I bought so many of them. I mean, at that point, they were like $20. They couldn't give them away. And
Yeah.
the size that I needed was usually there. Rose was the name of the gal that ran Retroactive and in
Nice.
mall in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I got gabardine suits. I got them in like avocado colors, you know, black, of course, navy, bright red. I mean, it was so cool. And I had a job where I could dress up if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I just like immersed myself in the era. Just
I love it.
40s, 50s. I was never like super strict. I wouldn't like do my hair exactly the way they did it because I didn't like a lot of products. I would do my makeup, you know, pretty much the way they did. But again, I like less is more, but I try to make it work for me. But I mean, it just went everywhere, like hats, gloves, coats, purses, everything I could buy from that era. And then when I got sicker, I couldn't handle older things. And I realized a lot of my clothes had possibly an aspect to it that wasn't making me feel good.
Yeah.
So one of the heartbreaks is I had to just give away all that stuff and start from scratch. But I thought to myself, well, at some point, maybe there'll be a time either I can rebuy it or I can do something to reflect that era again. And so I didn't know, but then I ended up actually realizing how to sew and how to create and making these things again, or finding other people who knew how to create this beautiful 1940s style suit or dress or whatever coat and support them. So between what I make and what I've either modeled for, which, you know, I've done some vintage modeling for people, and then it's great because you get stuff free.
Nice.
You know, I love to support them too. You know, I'd buy from them as well, not just
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean, and I just love it. I just love almost.
No,
I like when people don't even know what era for sure I'm representing. It's just vintage. It's retro.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, that's exactly. I have a little bit of a modern twist because I don't do things exactly, but yeah, that's what I love.
Well, that's the fun of the expression of it, right? Is you can do. Yeah. And I love that. I have to say, I was a sucker the moment I found the movie Gidget. Oh, I was off. Like that, my mom laughed at me. I think I was like 12 when I saw it for the first time. And I think I watched that movie because at the time, of course, you know, you really only got movies on VHS. I didn't even have like DVDs yet because that was like just starting. Only like the really wealthy people had that. So I was like watching this VHS over and over repetitively. And I was like, how do I find more movies like this, Mom? And she was like, I don't know. I was like, this is awful. What in the world? So I love it. I'm a bit of a fan. I'm a secret fan.
Well, you would both love where I live because there is a lot of clothing expression here. And there's a number of shops dedicated to 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, very individual to the era shops, and people are super committed to it. It's really great.
I would love to see that.
Don't tell me about it. I'll get stuck there.
Well, I'm in Canada, so you got to come all the way up here to me, but it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, those eras. I mean, even the 20s. I'll even pull in 20s type stuff occasionally. And 30s, like especially 40s. I just love the streamline stuff.
I'm just eyeing off at the side here. I've got this beautiful picture of my grandmother in her 30s dress. She had just immigrated. No, she was still in Romania. Somebody had taken a picture of her and my grandfather were in Paris. That's what the picture is. And they were just walking around and somebody had taken a picture of her and she got it. Like, it's very rare at the time for that to have happened. But it's like a street picture and she's got this beautiful dress on that she would have made because she wouldn't have been purchasing clothes at that point in time. But yeah, her sisters all made their, but my grandma was very fashionable. It was just her, and she sort of stayed stuck in the 40s for the rest of her life. And so even into her older years when she passed, I inherited a number of like hats with their hat boxes and her gloves and beautiful things.
Wow.
Charlene's coming to see you in a minute.
Yeah.
She'll be right over.
Come on up. I'm in Montreal. Come on up to Canada. We're here. It's good. It's a great spot.
It lasts forever. Back then, people used real material.
Yeah.
That lasts still. I mean, you have to maintain it. You have to prevent like cracking of leather and you have to repair things and stuff like that. But we are so surrounded by plastic and we're throwaway stuff. And it's literally throwaway, you know? I mean, it's like, even the style is just blah. It's just, I don't know.
I think that's like just part of the whole conversation today. We're in this throwaway culture, right? It's throwaway food, it's throwaway clothes, it's throwaway friendships, it's throwaway relationships. It's just
throw away your life. Just throw away your life. Why not?
You know, I heard an interesting thing last night, and I'll share it with you, ladies. It shocked me a bit. I do a lot of neurological studies and a lot of like personality studies, and I was reading one that was talking about how our cell phones rarely end up in our dreams. And so if you think about it, very rarely do you dream of scrolling, even though you may spend 3, 4, 5, especially in a creator space, right? That might be your whole entire day.
Yeah.
Your brain does not process the time you spend on your phone as relevant enough for it to think about in the dream state. And so all of this time that we immerse into these things that we think are so important, the brain doesn't deem it. It deems it as literally non-existent. That didn't happen in your day. I might have a 5-minute conversation with Selena that my brain will think about. But this entire time of scroll, this throwaway of people, this throwaway of entertainment, your brain isn't registering as important in almost any capacity.
Yeah.
So everybody don't scroll by us.
Don't scroll by us.
Stay with us.
Here. This is a real conversation happening right now, people. Stay.
Which is so funny you say that because Carnivore Muscle just commented. He said, I remember reading the MeatRx article about 8 years ago of some Charlene, and I thought it was kind of a myth or a random story. And I said, no, she's real.
No, I'm not. I'm just a figment of weird imaginations, I guess.
It's Selena and I have created a hologram. Let's hear with you guys today.
I'm so tan. Can't you tell I'm not real? I mean, look at you guys. I'm like this weird.
I'm incredibly jealous of your tan. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I'm also a ginger, so I am naturally very pale.
I'm normally tanned, but my country's on fire right now, so I can't really go outside and breathe air at the moment. But
my parents in northern Indiana are smelling it, seeing it.
Yeah.
But it's weird to go out and almost feel like you got to wear a mask. It's like, oh, please don't wear a mask. but yeah.
I'm breathing it, but it's definitely, it's weird enough that like when I walk all the time, but I've limited my walking because I'm coming back and my eyes are crusty and I'm like poofy in the face. Like I can tell I mean, you can hear it in my voice right now. You can tell the smokiness is like, it's getting to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a Jack Daniels and cigarettes voice anyways, but the smoking.
That's not true.
Well, once upon a time, but you know, we all have a health journey.
For sure. Someone over on the Instagram side is is reeling us back to carnivore.
Oh
They said,
gosh,
Oh, damn it.
fine. Let me
It's
direct
so
my
good.
coughing to that. Hold on.
said,
All right,
hello,
fine.
beautiful women. I'm curious about your opinions on raw meat on the carnivore diet. I feel like it has more life force, but sometimes I sear it a little bit. Do you eat any raw animal foods?
Well, we did pemmican, which really is raw. I mean,
Right.
it's dried, and we used bison because it was much leaner. It's easier to dry
Yeah.
lean meat, and then we powdered it and mixed it with tallow. I didn't. Joe did. Joe is the expert on making pemmican,
Thanks, Joe.
but that only lasted 4 years or so. Uh, and it drying still denatures it. I think as humans, okay. Oh boy, I have to watch myself here. But
No,
No, you don't.
you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
all right,
Not here.
I think that cooking made us more human. It did increase our brain size. It shortened our intestines, and that is a sign of evolution. And I think that cooking, for me, helps me digest and assimilate the nutrition better. Yes, I tried raw organ meat. I tried raw meats, but I felt best by far with cooking. And it's actually more than what most people would think is ideal. But if you look at cultures that ate all meat diets, they did tend to cook to medium or medium well.
Yeah.
It's not cooking the nutrition out. Now, yes, you can look at specific nutrients and they're less in cooked meat. But what if they're more accessible to us?
Mhm.
Even if they're in a small, look at vitamin C. People say, oh, you guys are going to all die of scurvy because there's no vitamin C. Well, guess what? There is, but it's very minimal. If you go by numbers and you say, well, there's clearly not enough, well, then you got a problem. But the thing is, the truth is that it has exactly what you need. If you don't have the sugar, your body will absorb the very minimal amount of vitamin C, and it's exactly what you need. You do not want to take in a whole bunch of vitamin C. It's going to just lead to oxalate problems. And I hate to use buzzwords right now, but yeah, it's true. So that's my take on raw. However, there are some people that feel best with raw. They won't overeat or fill in the blank. I don't care what you do. I just want you to do what makes you feel best. And I'm going to do what makes me feel best. And I'm going to tell you what I've read, what we've researched on, and just let you know. So take it or leave it. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm kind of, I think, like pretty much with you. I don't personally do raw. Every once in a while I do like a fairly rare steak, but the times that I want that are usually like the day I start my cycle. Every other time I'm pretty like medium-ish, like that's about where I sit on most of my, as far as like cooked ratio. Now, my little one, on the other hand, he is primarily a raw baby when it comes to his foods. When I cook them, he won't eat it. So I think like with you, it is kind of dependent upon what is best for the individual person, because I could cook a burger all day long. I can cook a steak all day long. My 4-year-old won't touch it. He will literally spit it out of his mouth and push it away. But I can hand him a raw ribeye and he's happy. I can make him a raw egg smoothie, as he calls it, his eggnog smoothie. I can make him a raw egg smoothie. He's happy. I mean, it's really dependent, I think.
All this stuff really is, with the percentage of fat, the percentage of protein. Same thing. Indigenous societies tended to be a certain way with eating with their fat percent. Is it exact? No. And can you vary from that? Absolutely. I'm not here to tell you what to eat or what not to eat. I'm just telling you what I do, or what I've researched, or what Joe's researched. That's it,
Right.
Everybody's got to do what makes them feel best. And I don't even care if it's not carnivore, whatever.
Right.
Do it. Then do your thing and just have the best life you can. And, you know.
I think you're amongst friends here. Selena and I tend to tend away from the dogmatic carnivore community as people. And I mean, yeah, I eat raw sometimes I don't, like it's whatever, but you got to meet people where they are. And I think that's a misconception a lot. Well, it's a caused misconception. I think some people who have become very, to overuse the word dogmatic in this space, have caused the more mass societal understanding or belief that we all think you have to do this exact one thing that we do, right? And it's not true. You know, what I need for fat and what both of you need for fat is probably different. You know, sometimes I eat an avocado. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. Like, but I think it really needs to just be, and I'm sure both of you can reflect the same feelings, but I get a lot of hate on my content where people are like, you're telling me to do this and you're da da da, and I'm like, I've never told you to do anything. I'm just telling you what I did, how I healed my body, and then exactly like yourself, I just share research that I've come across. And if you don't like that, then you need to step back and look at your own reflection of self, because that's a you problem. That's not a me. I didn't come to your house and tie you down and make you eat raw meat. Relax, right? Like, okay, you want to eat vegetables and you feel best doing that, do it. Good for you. I'm super glad that you're following your own intuitive body. Do your thing.
I find that.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, love. Go ahead.
When people act with such anger, you have to look at that and think, well, what's wrong? Something's wrong. People should not be that way to each other, to themselves, whatever. I see it as a nutritional problem if they react with such anger. If somebody doesn't understand something and they act angry because of it, that's such a bad human frailty. I hate that.
It is.
I don't think we have to live that way. I think we should, as humans, be naturally kind, accepting, loving, fun, creative, appreciative. Yes, have goals. Yes, be competitive, but not to this degree where it's this irritation. I think that the irritation comes with lack of proper nutrition. And so they're going to lash out. But it's almost like, okay, let them, and then accept the fact that there's something wrong there.
Yeah.
And that's not on you. It's on them. And they won't see it because they're not right. You know, things are not right in their head. So it's difficult because there's so many people out there that are so irritated. They just,
cruel and aggressive
isn't there.
Yeah, 100%.
I tend to find that the people that are most confrontational about like the information that I bring forward or the dietary choices I'm making, excuse me, are usually the ones that are, one, unwilling to do their own research. So all of their argumentative points towards me or their, you know, blanket statements on my comments are usually like the top headline of something from a medical pamphlet or, you know, a news article. And I'm
what
like,
about the blue zone? Right? How do you define the blue zones, carnivores?
And I'm like, have you actually read this? Well, I mean, I don't need to read that. Research has already done the studies for me. Did you read the research? Did you read, like, are you coming at me with actual information that you have taken time to assimilate, digest, and then make your own opinion on? If this is your own opinion, cool.
Love
But
it.
have you? And usually they haven't. Or sadly, and I hate to say this, are unable to understand it. And it's like, that is a cognition problem. And it 100% like what you were saying, Charlene, like the food is not giving them enough nutrients for their brains and their body to be able to function at a point that they can handle the information or that they can handle opposition or thinking for themselves without becoming enraged. It's really sad. It's sad to see. It's sad to watch. It's hard to for me. I'm not going to speak for everyone here, but it's hard for me to watch the outside world often and just go, gosh, you guys just don't even know what's possible for yourself.
Mhm.
I think it's hard too because you get in it, right? Like we can all think back to when we were unwell. I mean, I used to have terrible panic attacks. So bad I would be on the floor, just like gasping for air. And I had no idea where they would come from. But my body was so sick. That was how it was handling things. And at that time, you could not have sat me down and said, this is your diet. I would have torn a piece off of you because I was also angry and I was confused and I was scared. And I would have been so aggressive. I had to get here by myself. But yeah, I mean, I can step back and think about that. But at some point, something in you has to trigger. Exactly as we started this conversation, where is the fortitude to go to look in the mirror and be like, I'm unwell. I have to get better, right? I have to do something differently. I shouldn't be screaming at people. And the people who come and they say these aggressive things, that they don't walk away from that and go, I feel great now. They carry that anger with them through the day. And I mean, just the energetic impact of that on your cellular level of your body is horrific. It's just so sad.
Yeah. Well, Flora, Joe, and I is when we'd be at playgrounds, because kids, they don't follow the norm like adults learn to.
Yeah.
So they just kind of act more on instinct, and it's not pretty a lot of times. But we think, wow, we could probably write a book called Playground Nightmares because kids would be fed a certain something on the playground even. And then they'd go and act up, and then their parents would have to punish them. And it's like just this horrifying, vicious cycle.
Yeah, it really is.
Does nobody see what's going on here?
Yeah.
And so actually what brought Joe to find zeroing in on health was he was so mad that we couldn't find many. And we have some great friends that we met, some kids that actually were great, but so many weren't. And so Joe thought that he'd look up this, is anybody eating a low carb or a zero carbohydrate diet to their kids? Because we thought, man, I don't know how we're all going to get through this world with everybody acting just out of their minds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he found zeroing in on health. And so that's kind of a funny way of finding it because we were so upset with how these kids were. We just couldn't believe it. And my boys they were very easy. Most everybody like Charlie and George, they no drama ever. There's like sharing was like, yes, that's what you do. I mean, we didn't have to teach them any of that stuff, any of the proper ways of being. They just were that way. That's, I believe, how humans should be, gentle and kind and, I mean, excited and all that. It's not like we're just blah,
Yeah.
but proper with each other,
Community-based. Yeah.
And so, the boys would look at the kid that's like trying to run into them with their skateboard, like, what the hell are you doing? Or like taking sticks and just everything's destructive. Everything was so irritated. It's just the same. It's the same thing. It's irritation. Mm-hmm. And we felt so bad for these kids, but anyways, we thought, oh man, at that point, we didn't even know anybody ever would do this thing. Sometimes we'd be afraid to talk about it, but a lot of times we weren't. A lot of times we'd want to tell everybody about it because it's like, man, how many people would benefit from hearing this? And how many people would do it? I don't know. Would anybody do it? Yeah. So anyways, it's just a little backstory with us actually finding a group of people that were doing it, for various health reasons. So
yeah, which is awesome.
Kids that were out of their minds. It's like, oh my gosh. Let's look it up. Let's look it up and see if there's anybody out there that has fairly uninsane kids. No, we didn't. We had some great kids. Okay.
Yeah. My little one, I mean, he's pretty feral, and Jetty can attest to that. Um, but
But in the best way.
yeah, but the reality that like we experienced with him is, man, when he has fruit, which is like pretty much non-existent, might be like once or twice a year now. Like we've narrowed it out to where we're like, we're not for it. But we also understand when we go to family events, there's usually food on the table. He's possibly going to get a piece of apple or something. And it's like, okay, we're not attempting to create a food scarcity and like whatever for him because he's only 4. But I could tell you the times that he has that, oh my God. And it's fruit. And of course, everybody's like, oh, but it's not bad. It's good for him. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's actually not. And in the beginning, I got to a point I was like, yeah, but we have such a hard time. And he goes through these spells. And now I'm like, no, it's not good for him. It's really bad for him. You go from having a child who, yes, talks a lot, but talks a lot with like willingness to communicate what he's going through or experiencing, even when he's upset, right? But he's willing to communicate it with you, to a child that is having absolute meltdowns. And you kind of go, that's dysregulation in the nervous system right there. And completely within 30 minutes of having a piece of apple. Like, it's not rocket science.
Mm-hmm.
One of our friends thought that they'd be funny, sneaky, and they fed George when we weren't looking some apple. It was like just a bite or two. And he did not sleep all that night. It took him like, I don't know, 2-3 days to get over it.
Yeah.
It was horrible. And they thought they were being real funny. Like,
Yeah.
oh, let's see what happens if he has something that he shouldn't have.
Right.
Well, there you go. And
Yeah.
when we found out what they did, it's like, well, that's not cool at all.
No.
You just got to think, really, a friend is going to do that? Test us, test our methods that way?
Right.
That was so cruel. I don't know. He was
Yeah.
probably like maybe 3, 4. I don't remember how old he was. He was young.
Not old enough to advocate for himself or to really clearly, like, he could probably tell you, but it wouldn't necessarily have been in his forefrontal, like, awareness to be like, hey, Mom, somebody fed me this bite of apple. Like,
Yeah. Well,
Unless it's your child, because he will definitely tell me, Auntie Jenny, this happened to me. I was scared yesterday because this happened. He's an over communicator, but yeah, I mean, and what if, I mean, the things to not consider, right? I know Selena's son, the story with like the crackers, right? And it's like, what if your child is like adversely allergic to that thing? And you just weren't sharing that because you're like, well, this is what he eats. And your friend gives your child something that they have. I mean, you could say it is a pretty adverse reaction to take 2-3 days to get over a food. But these are supposed to be people you trust to protect your children, not jovially in their context cause that child harm. I mean, I would get in my car right now and drive from my house to Selena's house if there was a problem with her child. It would take me 17 hours to get there, but I would be there.
We always would open it up to the boys to try stuff. And we're so glad that we did that, because the best learning comes when you get to learn it yourself, that people aren't making you do something and you have to do something a certain way. To me, that really goes against us. It's so much stronger to be able to make your own decision because of what you've experienced yourself. So the boys always grew up knowing that they had choice and decisions for themselves. And so that's what they still do. And I think that is a great way to raise kids, is
I
that they
agree.
have their choice. Yeah.
I think too, you start to avoid like resentment and all the things that come from when you're a child and you're told, no, you can't have that because that's for mummies and daddies, or that's for special occasions, or whatever, the general rhetoric is. But then children want to sneak that thing, or they want to,
Yeah.
it's, look at it with like alcohol, right? If you look at societies where kids are given little bits of wine here and there, their likelihood of alcoholism or teenage alcohol poisoning is significantly reduced. I mean, where I live, our drinking age is 18. And it's not that I'm a proponent of alcohol, I'm not, it's a terrible example, but just for the sake of the point, we're allowed to drink in parks, and it's a very French community. And so, like, if you walk through the park on a Sunday afternoon, people will just be sitting sharing a glass of wine or whatever, and it's not drunk people, it's not public intox. What you start to see, love you, my American friends, is people from America come across the border and drink here because our drinking age is so much lower. And then it just turns into complete degeneracy because you've got people who are told no. And then all of a sudden there's just like free reign, yes. And there's no control mechanism in place because they don't understand this could make you really sick, or you might go to jail, or whatever it might be. I think it's the same thing for kids with food. If you're, go ahead, like eat that if you want to. Like, let's have a conversation about it. Mom and dad will go buy it for you. And if you feel really sick, then you could make your own decision about whether you want to try that again. But it's here and it's available. And if you really want to eat a banana, okay.
Yeah.
We'll
That's what we did. We let it up to them. And we never talked to them like they were kids. We talked to them like Joe and I talk to each other, and that's, kind of funny. You should hear the conversations Joe and I have with each other. You think I'm bad. You get the two of us together. It's wow. Anyways, but the guys are mature. They're probably more mature than Joe and I are. But yes, they're given choices on food, and they decide what they want to do. And they always go back to Rabbi, trust me, or whatever it is, we've decided or found to be the best thing. Back when it was pemmican. Yeah, they turned to pemmican. Easy. It's easy when you have such a bad reaction and you just don't feel well, and all sorts of things can happen. The only time George and Charlie would ever fight at all is when they got into something. And it was bad, and they thought, wow, this is weird. They could even see it in themselves. It's like, oh my gosh. So, it's always a choice.
Definitely. I know Augie, he'll tell you when we explained it to him, and I'm not sure if you shared that story about how he'll tell you, gosh, this makes me feel anxious. And that's how he can kind of describe it when he's had foods or something, because he feels like edgy and angry and aggravated. And so he'll tell you, it's like, oh, that made me feel anxious. And he's like, I don't want to have that anymore. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, self-awareness is good. So many people have no self-awareness, but it's the best thing you can have, honestly. And then you'll know what's good for you and what isn't good for you, including people, not just food, but people, jobs, situations where you live, all that stuff. You got to be able to feel what's right for yourself.
Yeah.
Instead of kind of going through life watching other people and making decisions, and then you think, oh, they did this, I'll do that. Unfortunately, a lot of people have to rely on other people to make their decisions. It's best if you can make your own. But again, that's a nutritional thing, I think.
Oh, I agree. Fully agree.
Like if you told an addict, follow your instincts, well, their instincts are going to be, oh, I need more drug. I mean, they may know that they shouldn't, but if they follow their gut instinct, it's like, oh no, you need a little bit more of that drug, and then you can give it up.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you've got to have, if you're an addict, if you know that you really do have to make a change, you may have to pick somebody's program or somebody's outline of what you can do to get over this thing that you're trying to get over.
Right.
get yourself going on that. And then your instincts will kick in better and better and better as you get well and you correct the problems within your gut, within your body, your brain, all that stuff. So it's a tricky thing, when you say everybody should believe in themselves, but if you're not well and you're an addict, believing in yourself can lead you to more of the addictive things. It's tough.
Yeah. Because you can't trust yourself. And that's a huge part of it. If you can't trust your own decisions, if you can't trust your own cravings, and that goes more than just say like, the addiction part. There's even the aspect of what if you starved yourself for so long, you no longer have the food sensations from your ghrelin signals and your hormones aren't firing properly to tell you when to eat or to stop eating at a certain point of fullness because you're so dysregulated. It's a thing of you have to learn to trust yourself again, like to be able to understand those aspects of yourself. They don't treat addiction to like carbs and sugars the way that they do with like alcohol or drugs or other strange things. And it's really sad.
Validated. It's
Exactly.
validated.
It is.
Oh, carb girl, carb life. Like there's literally hashtags like hashtag carbs for life, hashtag like carby girl, hashtag don't worry about it, girl. Just go eat your pasta. You'll feel better after work. Like it's justified and supported behavior.
And it's really crazy to me, like the concept even in the health and like dietary world where it's like, oh, I'm going to go, 10 more miles on that treadmill so that I can justify having the slice of cake at my girlfriend's birthday party later. And it's like, wait, what?
Well, I saw somebody the other day in someone's comments, and a woman was talking about her carnivore journey, and somebody said, "Well, I eat bread all the time, and I eat Reese's peanut butter cups, and I still have abs. It just needs to be a calorie deficit." And the girl wrote back, "You can do crack and have abs. It doesn't mean it's good for you." Like, right? It's just, okay, we understand. Yeah, if you go in a hard calorie deficit and you overtrain, you can still have the physical appearance of whatever it is you're attempting to have. But does it mean that there's not like horrific visceral fat or organ damage, or as we said, like your gut microbiome is off or whatever it is? It doesn't mean it's good for you just because you're in a calorie deficit and you're overtraining. You are not doing your body a service. But you see how fast that shuts off. I mean, I'll give you an example. My boyfriend is a big Vince Gironda guy. And so he has convinced himself right now as a 30-year personal trainer that he's on this Vince Gironda diet. So he's carnivore 6 days a week. And on the 7th day, he carb loads, which I think is absolutely ridiculous and is a point of contention in this household at the moment, but it is what it is. So yesterday, I get up, I ate my normal carnivore breakfast. I don't eat breakfast, but I ate at lunch. And he eats like 2 croissants and that's great. Then he's full. And then before we leave to go out for the day, it's 2 pieces of bread with oil and vinegar. And then we go out and I eat a carnivore bar and I'm good until I get home when I go to make dinner. And he gets home and he's like raging out. I'm hungry. I'm this, I'm that, I'm blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, because all you've eaten is carbs the whole day. So you're I cannot grasp why you are a carnivore 6 days a week, and then on the 7th day you're destroying your 6 days worth of work, so that you can like, I don't know what you're achieving. I'm seeing in your behavior, all of a sudden your brain shut off is like click from yesterday where it was completely normal. If you had completely normal hunger signaling, you knew when you were hungry, you knew when you weren't hungry, you knew when to stop eating. Everything was fine, and all of a sudden you carb loaded, and your brain's like more. One day. So you see somebody who lives this as a life. The impact of this is like they are not well.
He just unmasked himself.
Yeah.
Our bodies can't, if someone's eating carbs all the time, their body can't continually give them that biggest, hey, Listen to me. I'm going to give you this symptom. Listen to me.
Yeah.
So it masks it, and then it creates disease and dysfunction underneath, and then all of a sudden it's noticed. Oh, now I've got diabetes. Oh, now I've got a heart attack and cancer or whatever. So what he's doing is he's unmasking it by eating right, and then he's masking. Let me think here. He is unmasking bad food when he eats right. And then when he eats wrong, he's unmasked. The body shows him it doesn't want that stuff because he's given his body the signal, I'm going to eat, I'm going to feed you well. And the body's liking it. And then all of a sudden, no, it doesn't want this 1 day a week thing.
No.
And it's letting him know. And it is tough because can he see it? Or
he sees it. He's just
okay. Oh.
I also assume it's a slightly cultural thing. This got worse after a visit back to his home. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just it's the same. What I see is the same validated behavior that I see in most of my friends, because the majority of people in my life do not follow any type of dietary normalcy whatsoever. Most of my friends are sad diet eaters, and I hear the justification for it, right? It's like, well, I love carbs. Well, whatever, we all know.
Me too. It doesn't mean it's good for me.
They're awesome.
I would love to eat a plate of pasta, right? Like, that's what I say to people. I'm like, if you understand, like, I'm not better than you. I would love to eat a plate of pasta. I just don't. Like, I would love to eat a pizza. I just don't. I probably wouldn't love to because I'd probably be really, really sick. My diverticulitis would go off the rails and I'd be extremely ill. But I mean, in my mind,
for 5 minutes, and then the rest of you would be like,
yeah, my mouth and brain would be happy for like 10 minutes. Yeah. And then I would be crying for another 3 days. But, you know, in theory, at one point I was a sad diet eater. I mean, at one point in my journey, I was working in restaurants and I was drinking heavily and I was doing all kinds of drugs and I was smoking cigarettes and my body was used to it at the time. But if I was to smoke a cigarette right now, I would probably vomit. So
unmasked. It's unmasked.
Yeah.
Your body, I like it when our bodies are allowed to show us. I think that's the state you want to be in. You don't want to be in a state where the body's masking things and not showing you because it can't. It can't keep up with all that stuff. It's good when you can react to something. That's your body's signal. You got to just try to figure out, okay, what is it? And then change it. Well, unless you want to feel like that all the time. I mean, then that's on you, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I think it's crazy to look and see. Like, I try to explain to people in my life, like, now I know if I've been stressed out, I can tell the impact of that cortisol. I can tell immediately. My diverticulitis will get flared up. I'll get swelling in my face, get a headache. Like, and none of these things are normal for me now. But at one point, I lived every day with my headaches. I lived every day with inflammation. I lived every day with joint pain. It was so normalized for me that I didn't have the understanding. But you have to remove, like, food noise is not just food noise. It's also the noise of what's happening in your body and your awareness of how you feel. Because I'm sure we've all heard everybody say, well, I feel great. I don't know why you, like, I'm sore you have to eat like that. I feel great. And you're like, but you don't have anything to compare the metric to. Like, you've never felt great. So of course you think you do. Yeah.
That was my husband. He hopped on. I was like keto, turned like keto-4, turned carnivore. That was kind of my step to journey, right? I didn't know that I was doing the keto-4 thing until I found carnivore. I was like, oh, that's what I was doing. But he never did any of that with me. Like, if I made like a big meal that was more based towards what I was doing, he would eat it, but he would have honey buns and, you know, whatever soda, like all that crap, right? He felt fine. And he's also like a very slender, like a naturally slender built man. So he's not big. So it wasn't like, oh, I need to lose weight, or I felt fine. And when I got him to truly convinced him, I almost feel like I bribed him, but I convinced him to join with me. He was starting to get some hair stuff, and I was like, I've heard that people that do this. I was in my own research at that point in time. I had just barely heard the Joe Rogan podcast with Sean Baker. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's almost exactly what I'm doing. And it's okay. Like that gave me permission, like, oh, it's okay to do this. I can fully let go of the berries now. Because that's basically what I had left. And I was like, I've heard that this is really helpful. And he was like, I'm like, I don't know. Let's do 90 days. Let's just do 90 days. Tell me after 90 days. If we both think this is horrible after 90 days and you don't want to do it anymore, you don't have to. But just do 90 days with me. And we're very competitive in that sense. So we were like 90 days, like strict 90 days. Like there was nothing. There was no coffee. There was no like dairy. We were strict. It was probably almost, I think we were getting into the 30 days. And at one point, and this is also a warning to some people who have been on a very strict, not strict, but a very standard diet for a long time. I remember one day he looked at me, he was like, I think I'm dying, because he was detoxing so heavily. And I was like, I'm not going through this. Well, I had 7 years of ketovore dietary. I didn't have as much to eliminate. And I was like, oh, and he was like, I felt awful. By the 60th day, he was like, I don't think I'm ever going back. I didn't realize how bad I felt. And I was like, yeah, I know. So.
Hi, Augie.
Oh,
I can hear his little voice.
yeah, that's cute.
He's like
Yeah.
the cutest child of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. When I had to hop off, it was because he was like running in here and he was like, good morning, Mom. And I'm like, yes, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think it's that comparison. I think all of us, everyone listening, us three, like we all know, we all came from our own levels of sick. But it's a big thing I like to drive to people is like, you don't have to be sick to be well, right? You don't have to get to a point where you're as ill as the three of us have been in our lives in order to make change. Like make change, be proactive in your health. Don't wait until you have to be reactive. Like it's the old, if you don't make time for wellness, you'll have to make time for illness.
that's
But
it.
it's okay. You feel great now. I mean, I was speaking with a little 24-year-old friend of mine the other day, and she was telling me, or yesterday, she was telling me, oh, you gave up drinking 2 months ago. And I'm like, you're 24, good for you. And she's like, oh, she works in a restaurant too. And she's like, yeah, she's like, I wasn't really feeling good. So she's like, I stopped. And all my friends were like making fun of me and blah, blah, blah. But she goes, you don't drink. And I kind of like thought of you and I thought, oh, like Jenny doesn't care. Like, why should I care? And I was shocked that I had been impactful for her. But, you just sort of start seeing when you start to make these changes in your life, like why I wish I'd started this when I was 20. I wish I had, given up drinking. I wish I had gotten more into fitness at that time. I wish. And you want to shake people who are, I'm in my 40s now. So like you're in your 40s, like now is the time. Now is the time. Don't keep waiting.
there's always shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, always.
You just start now.
Start now.
Yes. Stop shooting on yourselves. That's what I say.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Literally. Okay. So before we get to end, I have another question.
Okay.
Question. What, when, how, and why?
Is this from the comment section or is this your question?
This is just me. This is just
Okay, good.
this because I don't know how to ask it.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Let me start over. Let me be more professional now. Charlene. I'm curious, what triggered and got you started into skating? I can't even talk now. Roller skating.
Well, about 10 years ago, I brought back roller skating. When I was a kid, I loved it. I loved roller skating. I would just go roller skate. Sometimes on Saturdays, my mom would take me to the local rinks. We had two. And and I would always go to the roller skating parties of school. Oh my gosh, I could hardly sleep. You know, I had so many butterflies. There's something about it. I just loved it. And
Yeah.
yes, I used to enter all the races, and I'd usually win. And that's not why but you know, I loved speed. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of
An adrenaline.
I love adrenaline. I love speed. I love motors, by the way. I love vehicles of all sorts.
Yes.
But anyways, okay.
Same.
So yeah, so I just loved roller skating, and I didn't learn a lot of the footwork stuff, like some of the fancy things that people have, but I just liked moving. I just loved
Yeah.
the feel of it, and yeah, skating backwards and transitioning and stuff like that. And so yes, 10 years ago I brought it back by buying some outdoor skates, and I skated for a while. I had a lot of falls, but you know, learned it again in an outdoor setting, which I'd never done before. And but I decided to sell them. We always were downsizing to make our diet work because we got rid of so much stuff. We had to sell things. I don't have a wedding ring. I mean, we needed money sometimes. We always were less is more. You know, we went from a big house, like a 2,040 square foot, to a 360 square foot condo in an 1880s hotel, which was super cool. But we downsized anyways. But you know, things changed. And this year I turned 53 in March, and
Nice.
I thought, you know what, dang it, I want to get those skates again. And so I bought indoor skates first, and you moved on them, and it just felt so good. But I really wanted to go. I wanted to like just skate. And the only way to do that easily is to buy outdoor skates. And so I tried to make the wheel, you know, I thought, oh, maybe I'll just like switch the wheels out when I want to. Oh no, yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be switching wheels all the time. So I bought another pair. You know, these are used on slightly used on eBay, and brands that I knew were good and stuff like that. So, and then I got the outdoor skates. So I love to film myself trying and failing, especially on the indoor in my garage skates, and people think it's hilarious, which it's fine. and then I go outside and I film too. And so it's this really fun combination of being able to share it with people and being able to experience that freedom of roller skating and being on wheels. And it's just one of those things where you literally feel like you've lost yourself. You just, in a good way, like you're in another dimension. You know, there's nothing you're worried about, there's nothing you're thinking about, you're just out there enjoying that thing. And that's what roller skating is for me. So and I'm so happy that people are inspired by it and they enjoy watching the videos, and it's like, wow, this is really cool. I didn't expect any of this stuff, but it's just one of those things that happened. So
I love it.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's a little scary. I mean, falling can hurt a little, especially wrists. But I figured if I pad myself all over the freaking place, I'll probably fall more. So I don't pad it up at all. I don't put any kind of braces or anything on. So I just wing it, and I'm good. My body can take it. Now I hardly ever fall because I'm getting really used to it. Well, sort of. It all depends. Yeah.
No, I love it. And it's everything you just described, I experience when I see your videos of it. Like I can tell the like just joy that you have while you're doing it. Like that, and that's infectious. So I think it helps a lot of people you know, just realize not just like, oh, I could do that again, but just I think it helps kind of spark that, like, oh, maybe I could try something like this that I used to love again. Maybe, maybe I do have that. It's like how that video with Sean Baker like gave me permission to be carnivore. You know, like I didn't need his permission, but it's like it told me in my head, oh, this is okay. I think you're doing that for people when you share that. So it's awesome. I love it.
Never too late.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, ladies, how are we? Are we at a good time, you think, to
Whatever you guys want.
sign off? And
People are probably bored of seeing us.
I don't care.
I had
they'll
a
be
great
all right.
time.
Like it doesn't matter. They're here,
Matter.
but we're here for just with us. But I don't know. I think maybe it's a good time. We could sign off now.
Okay.
And we've got some back end stuff to do. All right. So everyone who's watching, everyone who did watch, and everyone who will watch, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.